Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Woo! All right, this is good. I'm seeing so many reverends and friends, bishops and others here in the room. I feel like I'm going to be doing church here today. So keep me in check. Tibby, keep me in check, Reverend Bayman, please. Woo! It is amazing to look out and see the people that are here today. Past police, current police, law enforcement, federal, state, local, and all here, not just for the oath, but for the man who's taking the oath today. Amen. I've known him for decades, as I've known his predecessor, Cheryl Clapperud, for decades. There we go. And the stories that I have heard about Larry, just Larry, not captain, not deputy chief, not the superintendent to be, Larry. You hear it from average, regular people throughout the city of Springfield and beyond. I've heard from folks in Washington and Boston about this incredible and historic choice made by the mayor of Springfield, made by Springfield, to have this man lead. And as we all know, he does this at a cost and a premium. The job is hard, but he was ready to retire. And the call came, and he's answered the call. God bless him. Woo! So I'm going to go short because we want to focus on so much else. Youth, current, past, others, and the folks that are going to be up here to talk about Larry beyond what I've just said. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you, please, to stand now and to remain standing. First, for the big red drum line from Libertas Academy, which will be followed by the posting of the colors and the national anthem. So, ladies and gentlemen, Libertas. Thank you. Thank you, Director Wilcox. I don't think we expected that. Woo! Upside down playing the drums. Blindfolded playing the drums. Woo! And now we'll have the posting of the colors. The procession of the colors. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, and now the voice of Springfield, Vanessa Ford with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave. God bless you, Springfield.
They talk about tough rooms to play or to act in or to sing in. Talk about a tough room to post the colors in. That was amazing. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round. We'd like to ask you to remain standing for just a moment now for something very special. The blessing on this day on our new superintendent by the Reverend Ramon Arce.
Good morning, everyone. Let's pray. Almighty and everlasting God, as we gather here today, we invoke your presence and guidance as we will receive Superintendent Lawrence Akers as the leader of our Springfield Police Department. Grant him the wisdom, courage, and integrity as he takes this noble responsibility of serving and protecting our community. Bless Superintendent Lawrence Akers with discernment to make sound decisions, compassion to understand the needs of our citizens, and strength to uphold justice and fairness and equity. May he lead by example. May he always be an inspiration to his team to uphold the values of duty, honor, and service. We ask for your protection over him and all the officers under his command as they embark on their duty to safeguard our streets and uphold the law. May they be guided by your light in times of darkness and uncertainty. Grant us as a community the grace to support and respect their leadership, to work together, fostering a safe and harmonious community and environment. In Jesus' name we ask you, amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Beautifully done. We also now would like to do something very special, which is the blessing of the memorial wreath. Do we do that separately? Beautiful. And I believe that will be Sheriff Kochi that we're asking on that. Is that the sheriff? Reverend Kochi. Now, you just got upgraded by the mayor. All right. You're in. Okay. Bishop, going to go higher? Okay. Beautiful. Looked like Pope John doing that. That was nice. Beautifully done. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. There are too many people in this room today who deserve recognition. I can't read all of your names or point them all out. And in fact, initially, we didn't expect so many dignitaries. But that, again, is for this man, Larry Akers. So without any particular order, I am going to recognize some of the folks that are here in this room because of the fact that they're here says so much about the future of what's to come for the Springfield Police Department and the city of Springfield. We have the dean of the local Massachusetts House of Representatives, the dean who has served us extremely well, Angelo Pupolo. State Representative Pupolo. I love this next introduction because I've known him since I was a teenager too. A local state representative, but we should recognize him as the House Chair of Public Safety and Homeland Security, Carlos Gonzalez. Amazing. Thank you, brother. The offices of Senator Gomez, Senator Oliveira, and Representative Orlando Ramos are represented here today with their legislative aides. I see Ayanna Crawford and others here. Thank you. I'm not overlooking Bud Williams. I'm going to introduce him in a little bit as part of the speaking piece, and a few of the other city councilors that are here. Cateri Walsh, Victor Davia, Maria Perez, Jose Delgado, Zeta Govin, and two others I'll mention when they come up to speak. Victor Davila, okay. I think I did say that one. It's all right, thank you. We'll give you a second round, Victor. There you go. All right. And it is amazing. The office of the governor is here today, and Senator Edward Markey has sent an aide that we all know. Jesse Letterman. Jesse. City Councilor Tracy Whitfield is here. Also with us today is our aides from Senator Elizabeth Warren's office. Superintendent, in my business, that's pretty good. You got all the big names represented here today from all the different offices. That is grand. And I would be remiss not to mention that the Brigadier General Kalin, the commander of the Massachusetts Army National Guard, is here today as well. Wow. And as I say, I could go around this room with folks, but I'd be remiss not to mention a Springfield community powerhouse, a fellow who we've seen do so much for the city, a close friend of the superintendent. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Buffalo Soldiers of the city of Springfield, Richard Gardner. If my wife would let me ride a motorcycle, I'd be riding with them. That's all I got to say. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know him and his reputation as a man who stands first for public safety, for his city, for his family, which is the city, who's made incredible decisions for our police department and public safety in the city of Springfield. A mayor who is known statewide for his support of police and that wonderful, wonderful brotherhood and sisterhood of blue. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of the city of Springfield, Dominic Sarno.
Good morning, everyone. And doesn't Police Superintendent Larry Akers and his lovely wife, Mary, aren't they like the GQ couple there? How do you like that bow tie? Special dispensation for that today to do that. First of all, to our MC, Tony Signoli, thank you very, very much. And good health to you. To the honored guests on the dais, to Spirit of Springfield, Judy, Matt, and team. Thank you for your efforts to put this together. I want to thank Amanda Spear of Symphony Hall. Thank you for your efforts. And I want to thank my city administration, from my office to now Facilities and Parks Director Tommy Ash, putting this all together too. Billy Baker, thank you. And how about that Libertas drum corps? Were they good or what? They had a young man at the Holyoke St. Patrick's Day Parade when they marched drumming as he hung upside down. Just tremendous. So thank you, Libertas, for being here. We appreciate you doing that. I want to give special thanks to retired Police Superintendent Cheryl Clapwood for all her years of dedicated service. I'd also like to give special thanks to the City Council, led by City Council President Attorney Mike Fenton. He sends his regrets today, and Vice President Melvin Edwards will be speaking, and Chair of Public Health and Safety LeVar Click Bruce, my old assistant coach, for really moving this forward on the home rule legislation. To the City Council, thank you very, very much. I'd also like to thank the state delegation for moving this forward, and especially State Representative Bud Williams, who's leading the charge on this. Bud will be speaking. Buddy, thank you very, very much. To Reverend clergy that is here, anytime you're the first, that needs to be acknowledged, because it sends a message to those who are behind you, who are looking to aspire to move upward and onward, that you can and will do it. So it's important to recognize, and my administration has had a number of firsts here in the city of Springfield when it's come to leadership positions, that now Superintendent Larry Akers becomes the first African-American top cop in the city of Springfield's history. Got that down to a T, huh? Yeah. Larry, you got that down to the T. Tony Cedars said there's a lot of people from clergy here. We might have to pass the basket on that. But I also want to state this. Skin color, creed color, background did not come into play. This young man is the best individual for the job, period. I also told Larry and Mary, the GQ couple, that Larry, it will not always be roses for us every day. I'll tell you that right now, where we're getting ovations and they're clapping. Many a times, Larry, we've all faced it. Sometimes they'll wave at us not using all 5 fingers, you know. So with Superintendent Akers, a gentleman who is well respected in the public safety ranks across the board, doesn't matter what creed, color, or background, has the command of our troops, the respect of our troops, but just as important, the respect of our community. I have been in situations with now Superintendent Akers where he had to handle some difficult situations on the street. And his street command is unquestioned. Professionalism, courage, integrity. But he showed me a special thing that a lot of our police officers show: compassion and empathy. And I've seen him deal with those difficult situations. And I've seen him in my community stakeholder meetings, how he personalizes the issue with the individual he or she speaks to, no matter what creed, color, and background. So here's a man that not only is respected, can be tough, will be fair, will show courage, will show leadership, integrity, and professionalism, But I think police forget about our men and women in blue. And none of us mind any type of constructive criticism. But I always remind everybody that when everybody is running away from that situation or running out of that building, who is running in to save lives and straighten out that situation? It is our dedicated men and women in blue and our fire department putting their lives on the line day in and day out. And for that, I thank each and every one of you, and I thank your families that allow you to serve. Thank you, Commissioner Calvi. So now we move forward. There's been a solid foundation that's been put forth with our Springfield Police Department. Many initiatives have moved forward, reforms under retired Police Superintendent Cheryl Clapper, but now, newly minted Police Superintendent Larry Akers will take the leadership role, and he will show his vision. He will put his mark on the police department as he continues to move it forward, not only for the men and women in blue, but for each and every one of us in our community and our business community. Today is a very, very proud day, and I'm very happy that when I had asked Deputy Chief Akers at the time to stay on, that he accepted. And I think originally he thought it was going to be Deputy Chief, and I said, no, no, no. I want you to be the boss. But with the help of the City Council and the state legislature, we now move forward. And I know it's a proud, proud day, Superintendent Akers and Mary and the Akers family today. And it just shows the beautiful mosaic of the city of Springfield. Are we perfect? No. Are we good? Yes. Godspeed to you, Superintendent Larry Akers, and to all our men and women in blue. Thank you for what you do day in and day out. I deeply appreciate it. God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor Sarno. A few more folks that we need to introduce here today. And again, as I said, I could go around the entire room. There are department heads here who are exemplary. I have a new name for her. You have many nicknames for your people, Mayor, but I just got to say, the savior of the pandemic, Helen Harris Colton. Helen Colton got us through. You see Tim Sheehan, Economic Affairs, in the back of the room. Danny Warwick, the superintendent of superintendents of the Springfield school system. Unbelievable. Talk about success and talk about numbers. Next to him, the longtime vice chair, now still member of the school committee, Christopher Collins. And we saved one really to be separate because it should be separate, as much as he has done for public safety in the city of Springfield. The partner for our new police superintendent, the commissioner of the Springfield Fire Department, BJ Calvi. Unbelievable. We have two city councilors about to speak who are already making legend from their efforts and what they are doing. We have City Councilor Melvin Edwards, the Vice President of the Springfield City Council, and we have City Councilor LeVar Click-Bruce, the Chair of the Public Safety Committee. We'd like to ask you both to come up at the same time, but certainly to speak separately. Wow.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First and foremost, I want to give honor to God, who's ahead of my life. And this is a great occasion, and I'm actually choked up because he looks like me. And he has on a bow tie, as the mayor said, like me. We coordinated that. To the Honorable Mayor, to all my colleagues on the City Council, all the elected officials and clergy, Could not think of a better choice to lead our police department other than Superintendent Larry Akers. He is more than qualified. He has the right temperament. He is definitely experienced with over 40 years of experience. He's well respected not only by the police department, but also throughout the city of Springfield. And oh yes, it's not lost on me that he happens to be black. He's a role model, he's a trailblazer, and a person we can all be proud of. It is a privilege and honor to call him my friend. Now, as I get ready to take my seat, I'm reminded by something my mother used to tell me all the time. And she always used to tell me, you can be whatever you can be if you put your mind to it and you work hard. This is a testament of hard work and dedication. So Superintendent Larry Akers, salute to you, all, and your wife and your family, all the men and women in blue. We are here. It's a new day in the city of Springfield, and we're looking forward to moving forward with the city. And Larry Akers, this is personal for you. I want to leave you with this. Continue to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. And we know that your labor is never in vain. God bless you. Be steadfast.
Good morning. I too can get emotional, but I'm going to try to keep my composure this morning. Known this gentleman for a long time. It's a great honor for me to offer some words of congratulations and celebration to my childhood friend and our new superintendent. But first, allow me to address our outgoing colleague. Superintendent Clapprood, thank you for your many years of selfless service and dedication to the city of Springfield, to the members of our police department, and to the residents and our neighbors. You've earned all your accolades and comments of appreciation. Now, may you be blessed with a fruitful retirement filled with health, prosperity, and the freedom to do whatever makes you smile. Now, to our incoming superintendent, Larry Akers. I can only hope to add to the many kind words of congratulations and pride at this historic moment. We've known each other since elementary school. We grew up just 3 streets apart in what is known today as the Upper Hill neighborhood. And as we are only a few months apart in age, we can both acknowledge that we have known each other for most of our lives. Late last year, we met by chance in a parking lot in Chicopee. And at that time, we discussed our approaching birthdays. I remember the conversation of interest in this position, and I remember saying how honored I would be to stand next to you in support of your appointment. I stand here now this morning thanking those of wisdom who saw in you and your many years of faithful service the value of allowing you to continue to serve our great city. To them, I say thank you, and I applaud their choice. As you are formally sworn in today, I know you have not forgotten where we came from, nor the many childhood friends that are no longer with us. How proud they would be of both of us today. And likewise, I think of the little boys and girls and of our own grandchildren who now have the opportunity to see in you what is possible with hard work, determination, and dedication to service. As I've already said to you, I believe that God leads us where we're supposed to be if we are willing to listen and trust in Him. To the members of the Springfield Police Department, our fine public servants, I today respectfully ask that you will trust that Superintendent Akers will always have your back and that you will always have his. In your joint commitment to serving to the people of the city of Springfield. Finally, Larry, may God continue to bless you, your family, and the members of the department you are now charged with leading. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this opportunity to stand before you this morning.
We have some very special guests now. I'm going to introduce them or mention them as a trio, and they are an incredible trio of law enforcement, but they'll each speak separately. I'll call them up. But first, let me say, here to offer greetings from the greater Springfield law enforcement community are three people who represent the best, the very, very, very best of law enforcement and compassionate public service. I introduced them as a group. We'll call them up individually. And right after, I will call on for remarks from the House of Representatives, Bud Williams. We're going to let these three folks go first, then we're going to have Representative Williams come up for remarks from the Massachusetts House. So first, Sheriff Nick Kochi, who will be followed by retired Massachusetts State Police Detective Lieutenant Ronald Gibbons, followed by our newly retired Springfield Police Superintendent, Cheryl Clapper. Sheriff Kochi.
Thank you, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, Mayor Sarno. Today marks a pivotal moment in the history of the Springfield Police Department. Before I talk just briefly about Larry, I also want to congratulate and wish Cheryl the best in retirement. You have been a true leader of the men and women of the Springfield Police Department. You've been an advocate for the residents of the city of Springfield. And I consider you a very dear friend, and I wish you nothing but the best. As we gather to swear in Superintendent Lawrence E. Akers, not only does Superintendent Akers assume the reins of leadership, but he also etches his name in the archives of the City of Holmes as the first African American to hold this esteemed position. With over 38 years of dedicated service to Springfield, to the police department, Superintendent Akers embodies the values of commitment, integrity, and public service. His journey from a diligent patrol officer to now ascending to the role of superintendent reflects his unwavering dedication to the safety and well-being of our community. As the hub of Hampden County, Springfield serves as a beacon for the region's prosperity and progress. A safe Springfield is not just a local necessity, but it's a regional imperative. Superintendent Akers understands this reality and is firm in his commitment to ensuring the security and flourishing of this great city, thus benefiting the entire county. Throughout his distinguished career, Superintendent Akers has demonstrated exceptional leadership, spearheading innovative crime prevention strategies and fostering meaningful connections between law enforcement and the community we serve. His tireless efforts have earned him the respect and admiration of both his colleagues and the public. As we witness this historic moment, let us not only celebrate Superintendent Akers' appointment, but also recognize the significance of this milestone in our city's history. His leadership will undoubtedly inspire future generations, providing there is no limit to what anyone can achieve. I look forward to closely working with Superintendent Akers and anticipate a continued partnership between the Hampden County Sheriff's Office and the Springfield Police Department. Together, we will strive with all of our local law enforcement partners to enhance public safety, strengthen community ties, and ensure a brighter future for all the residents of not just Springfield, but Hampden County. My last comment will simply be, Larry, from my predecessor when I took office, who was a dear friend of yours, Sheriff Michael Ash. When I stood in the office as he was walking out, handing me the keys to his little Taurus that we quickly changed out for a nice SUV. Right, Mayor? He said to me, he said, Nick, remember three things. Three things that have already been mentioned by the speakers before me. You go, they will be the key to your success in being approachable, humanistic, and successful. Every day, go to work with compassion for the people you work with and the people you serve. Every day you go to work, remember that level of professionalism that you must strive for and uphold with the people you work with and the people you serve. And lastly, respect. You have respect for your men and women under your charge and respect for the men and women of this great city of Springfield. Compassion, professionalism, and respect. In there lies integrity and character, accountability. But when you show compassion to the people you encounter, respect in how you deal with them during that encounter, in professionalism, the entire encounter, the outcome will only be fruitful for everyone involved. You embody those three words, Superintendent. Please join me in congratulating Superintendent Larry Akers on a historic, well-deserved appointment. And again, Larry, I look forward to working with you to tackle the challenges that lie ahead. Congratulations once again. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Sheriff Kochi, our nationally recognized sheriff. Thank you. Now we'd like to hear from another legend of law enforcement, Detective Lieutenant Ronald Gibbons, Massachusetts State Police. Another son of Springfield.
Good morning, distinguished guests. Superintendent, newly appointed Lawrence Akers, retired Superintendent, my friend, Cheryl Claproot, and the many dignitaries gathered here today. This is truly a proud and momentous day for the city of Springfield. We are here to honor a man that I and many of you also refer to as my brother, as well as my friend, our newly appointed Police Superintendent, Larry Akers. When I think of Larry Akers, I flash back to the man I served with during my 5 years with the Springfield Police Department in the 1980s. At that time, we were both officers. I looked up to Larry as a seasoned officer, detective, and mentor. Even after I joined the Mass State Police, we continued to work closely on cases together with determination and integrity. When MGM opened the area's first casino in Springfield a few years back, it was no surprise that Larry Akers was chosen from a long list of qualified candidates and appointed as a commander from the Springfield Police, joining Brian Connors, Tim Babin, and myself as supervisors to lead in this new endeavor. Larry Akers was our right-hand man when it was time to select and appoint each specialized member assigned to the Gaming Enforcement Unit. Not only did he bring extensive knowledge, but also well-earned respect and the experience that would help carry this unit forward to achieve the success it has today. I learned a long time ago that Larry Akers is the man you want by your side. I feel blessed that he has been a colleague, a mentor, and a friend of mine for over 37 years. Wow, over 37 years. You know, in automobile terms, 20 years is technically considered a classic. And Larry Akers, you truly are a classic. Anyone who knows me well knows how much I appreciate classic cars. I've even had Larry Akers along with me a few times looking at classic cars. I took him along for companionship, but beyond that, I took him along because I valued his opinion. I want you to open your minds to this thought. Well cared for classic cars are shiny. They have lots of beautiful chrome that catches your eye. They look good, they sound good, and best of all, they increase in value over the years, sometimes to the point of being priceless. These cars come from a time we value as the good old days, the real deal era. The mechanics who work on these cars are special. They have institutional knowledge. They know how to work with their brains as well as their hands. When you drop off your problems to them, you trust they will diagnose the problem accurately, fix the problem, and you leave knowing the job will be done right. Now that is Larry Akers. He is that mechanic and a classic car all wrapped up in one. He is the total package. Larry Akers is that old school mechanic who has the inherent knowledge to diagnose issues, come up with solutions, resolve them, leaving everyone feeling the job was done well. And like a classic car, Larry Akers looks good. He sounds good. His value only increases with time, to the point that he is priceless. As I said, Larry Akers is the total package. I want you to open your minds once more to this additional point. When you get a new car, it has shine. It has appeal. You want to show it off to your family and friends. It has value. It has style. But most of all, it comes with a warranty. That is what you, the citizens of Springfield and surrounding towns, are getting here today. And for a long time to come, Larry Akers has that style and grace. Larry Akers has charisma. And most of all, Larry Akers gives you a warranty that he will be here for you, ready to go forward, no matter the time of the day or night. You don't need to start his motor. He's already running and ready to go. Larry Akers instills safety, security, confidence that a long road trip with your family, the residents of this great city. So I say to you, City of Springfield, sit down, buckle up, enjoy the ride. I promise the experience will be a memorable and awesome one. To my friend and brother, best of luck to you on this new journey. You are more than ready to take the wheel and drive us into a new era. Congratulations, Superintendent Larry Akers.
Beautiful. And now, I have not seen her dressed like this maybe in 30 years. Ladies and gentlemen, legend, Superintendent Cheryl Clapprood. Cheryl.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for the kind words. Larry, I'll make this brief because I got to get back to doing nothing. And I kind of like it. I like it. 5 years ago, somebody had the confidence in me to handle this big undertaking, and I've been thanking him everywhere and every time I can because it turned out to be such a rewarding experience. I was so proud of everybody in the Springfield Police Department, the job they do, because I came from being a cadet and I saw it every day. So I understand it and I get it. And I was just so proud to lead them. And I thank you, Mayor, so much for the privilege and the honor for the last 5 years. Thank you. Larry, congratulations. I am proud of you. I have known you since you came on. I'm proud. I'm sure your family is proud of you. And even more, I know your father's proud of you. So
Amen.
congratulations. I don't think you need any advice. We've sat and we've talked. He's had time to come in the office and look at me and shake his head. And the last time we talked, he looked at me seriously and said, "Do you ever have a fun day?" No. But I have, better than fun days, I have rewarding days, and you will have them. You have the three elements that will make you very successful in this job. You have the instincts, because you've been around. You have the experience, because you've been through it. And you have the common sense to know when to do things and when not to. So you will be fine, believe me. If that doesn't get you through the days, I'm looking at the gentleman right here in the front row, and they have gotten me through some pretty tough days. They are experienced, professional gentlemen with a lot to offer you should you need it. They are my command staff, the head of the union, Officer Curley, and Captain Keenan, head of FIU. Gentlemen, you were there for me, and it's greatly appreciated. Thank you. Larry, I leave you saying I will pray for you, your family, your success, to continue on showing people that the Springfield Police Department is one of the finest police departments in the country. We do awesome work with awesome talent, and I know you can lead us. I pray for your health, I pray for your success, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you for undertaking this.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you for everything, years and years. Just before we bring up Bud Williams, we would like to ask the command staff of the Springfield Police Department, please, just to stand up so we can applaud you even more for what you do every day. Thank you so much. And just behind them, with their backs, covering their backs, are the board of the Springfield Police Commission. We'd like you to stand up, please, and be recognized. All of you, please. Thank you all for all you do. We've talked a lot about native sons and daughters of this city today, and there are so many of them here in this room. And that's why it's so incredibly appropriate that our next speaker, a son of Springfield, someone who's grown up here, who's lived here, who's done incredible things and accomplished so much, is our next speaker. And he brings us the greetings of the Massachusetts House of Representatives and our state government. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Bud L. Williams. Buddy.
Thank you. Thanks, Tony, for those kind words. First, give honor to God. I think protocol has been set. Everyone has been acknowledged. And good morning. On behalf of the Mass delegation, the Dean, Angelo Pupolo, I see Chairman Gonzalez here. Chairman Gonzalez, and on behalf of Senator Gomez, Senator Jake Oliveras, Representative Ramos, and Brian Ash. Good morning. Fired up, ready to go. Fired up, ready to go. And to my lovely wife, Dr. Williams, good morning. I had to rush out of the house today. As I contemplating as to what I was going to say and talk about, I had two mentors in my life, two political mentors. One was Raymond Barracuda Jordan, and the other was Representative Benjamin Civil Rights Swan. Mm-hmm. And they always told me, anytime anything first black and you're the dean, you talk about how we got here, how we got here. And as I reminisce, I look out and I remember on the steps of City Hall, C. Jackson, and it was turbulent times in the city of Springfield. The Octagon Lounge, which most of you should Google and really read about it and really think what that says. That was really the beginning of probably the civil rights movement as we know it in the city of Springfield. Relationships between the communities, black and brown communities, the police department, always hasn't been all that great. Fired up, ready to go though. And as I think of Akers, and we were marching in a parade, Caribbean parade, and the mayor and myself, you know, we're pretty popular. We get a lot of shout outs and a lot of waves. I think on that day, he got more shouts and more waves than we did. We going to put him at the end of the parade next year. I'm not going to march with him anymore. I can't take that. I just cannot take it. But on the backs of individuals, this individual has stood and continues to stand from a historical standpoint. He's the first black superintendent, but we could have had many black chiefs in the city of Springfield if the system had been right. Between the racism and the discrimination and the prejudices, many of our young, older blacks were left out. I start with Joe Budd. Joe Budd fought so much discrimination and racism. And you come down to Dean and Harold Clinton, the Clintons, and you talk about Burke the cop, and you talk about Lieutenant Colton. You talk about Lieutenant Seymour. You talk about Captain Davis, McAlpine, Todd the cop who used to patrol the square. These were many great men who were well qualified to hold the mantle of chief of police. But due to the system and the deck stacked against you, they never had a chance. But they fought the battle. And they had the bruises, and they had the scars, and the scars turned us inside out. And then I get to his dad. I knew his dad, and I knew his mother. Larry Akers Sr. was a motorcycle cop in the square. And he'd sit in front of that pizza shop over by them telephone booths. And he got C. Jackson so many times, I think C took another route, because Larry Akers, I remember talking to him, and he used to talk to the young blacks. And he'd always say, he's about ready to throw in the key. He's about ready to give it up. But he didn't give it up, because he knew years from then that this system was going to change. Fired up and ready to go. First black president, Barack Obama, historical. We had the first black female vice president, Kamala Harris. We've had Supreme Court justices. We've had a lot. We've had a lot of firsts that many have qualified way before. There was Barack Obama. There was Dr. King. There was Ben Swan, who they stood on his shoulders. This is what it's about, upward mobility. And then the courage of this mayor. The courage. It does take courage. If you think this wasn't an easy call, there's a lot of competition that goes on. And only one can be superintendent. So, Your Honor, I want to thank you. And we've talked many. I really want to do that. You did a hell of a job in this appointment. And that's what it's all about. Upward mobility. Those who were trailblazers, those who laid the foundation, those who took the hits, took the pain, made the sacrifice. Never, ever forget where you've come from. Don't ever forget whose shoulders you have stood upon. Don't ever forget you didn't get there alone. You didn't get that. It's not that you're so great. You've done all these good things. People have made sacrifices for us to get where we are, to advance, to be the best we can be. It doesn't always work out that way, but this time it worked out that way. Now, this is just before they give you the rights to, I guess, the key to the station, or whatever they do up there. I don't know what they do up there. But as a law enforcement kid, retired probation officer, I understand criminal justice system. You're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. As Cheryl, thank you for what you have done, Gerald. We started just about the same time. Don't take a job in politics. No, okay. But we're going to have to pray for him that we heal together this city. He is the command. There's going to be decisions he's going to make that we're going to like some and we're not going to like some. Just think about it. We're not going to like every decision, but we have to support. He is here to run the city, to keep it safe. And I'm going to tell you, when the mayor made this announcement on Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, which was historical, there was a vibration that went through the city, and it resonated on the north end and the south end and Pine Point and Mason Square and Indian Orchard. It resonated because many of folks were saying, okay, we got a chance. We got a chance. Confidence was reinstilled in these communities because we watch what you do, not what you say. Because too many times we've been tricked and hoodwinked a lot. We made it. You have a lot of weight, Mr. Akers, a lot on your shoulders. All those former police officers and men and women who have gone on, you are the man of the hour. So on behalf of my family, and we have filed that legislation, I want to thank Rep. Pupolo, Rep. Gonzalez. We're going to get it through for you. It makes the city a better place, and thank the city council for a home rule petition. It means a lot. But you have a lot on your shoulders, man. I don't envy your job. It's tough. And when he comes home at those nights when he's had a bad day and he can't get on that boat to go fishing, you don't get on the boat either? Oh, my God. You're letting the cat out of the bag now. But when you come home, just remember, there's always tomorrow. And tomorrow is a different day. Today might be rainy, and well, New England, it could be rainy and snow. It might be snow and everything. But the sun's going to shine. The sun is going to shine. So thank you. And I want to give a shout out to all the retiree police officers, men and women that are here. Yeah, give them a shout. They're here. They're in full house. Oh, yeah. So this has simply made police community relationships a whole lot better. We can see evidence in this. And as I said, we're going to continue to work together, be strong. We're going to pray for your success. At the end of the day, as Paul Mason, the old former city councilor who gave Mason Square to the city, y'all should know that, call it like you see it, not how somebody else sees it. I'm going to say that one more time. I'm going to leave with that. Call it like you see it, Superintendent Akers, not like how Bud Williams sees it, not like Mayor Sarno sees it, not like your wife sees it. I might be going too far with that, but
That's it.
But so I'm gonna go fired up. He's ready to go. Fired up. He's ready to go. One more time. Fired up. He's ready to go. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Representative Williams. Thank you. And now, a moment that this city has waited long to witness, the oath of office administered to Lawrence E. Akers by Judge John Payne with Springfield City Clerk Gladys Oyola, after which Mary Akers will then have the honor of pinning the superintendent's badge on her husband, followed by her personal reflection.
Superintendent, before we start, I just wanted to say I'm wearing these robes today for the first time in 3 years. And I'm doing it today because altogether this is a joyous occasion, but it's also a solemn occasion. And I want you to understand that. Although I have to tell you, Larry, that normally when I wore this outfit and I had somebody in front of me, it was just before I sentenced them. So But this is a good sentence. This is a sentence for you and your family and for the city of Springfield. So with that, I would ask you, are you ready to take the oath of office as superintendent?
Yes, sir, I am.
And I would ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Lawrence E. Akers,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
and will support the Constitution thereof.
and will support the Constitution thereof,
That I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as superintendent,
as superintendent,
agreeably to the rules and regulations
agreeably to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution of the United States
of the Constitution of the United States
and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
and the laws thereof.
and the laws thereof,
The Charter and ordinances of Springfield,
the Charter and ordinances of Springfield,
the rules of the City Council,
the rules of the City Council,
and that I will perform all other duties and obligations
and I will perform all other duties and obligations
incumbent on me as such.
incumbent upon me as such.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Superintendent, congratulations.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, the pinning. Beautiful gold badge. Wow. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Mary Akers with her reflections.
Good afternoon, Springfield.
Good afternoon.
As you can imagine, this is a very emotional day for me today. So I'm going to have to ask you for your grace and your understanding as I try to get us through my portion of the ceremony. On the best of days, I am not a public speaker, so you're going to need to help me out. And please, family, if I'm going too long, give me the international sign of cut it off and let's move, okay? So as most of you know, and for those of you who don't, my husband is a second-generation Springfield police officer. His father, Charles Akers, joined the Springfield Police Department in the late 50s following an honorable discharge from the U.S. military. When you think of second generations or legacies, you imagine that the first generation probably had it pretty good. But for those of us of color, that is not usually the case. And although policing is an honorable position and job, my father-in-law did not necessarily want his son to join the police department. He knew that it is a challenging position, that the pay was low, and that the disrespect was rampant, both in the department and from the public. Things like being forced out of his cruiser and made to walk the beat because Negroes weren't allowed in cruisers. Black men and women being called the N-word with the hard R to their faces by their coworkers with very little departmental response. He himself being attacked and assaulted on the streets of Springfield while on duty and in full uniform with, again, very little response from the police department kept him from being able to envision today. Now, I give those examples not to be divisive or accusatory or even to dredge up old history, although we all know that those days and this day are not that far apart. I give those examples to honor and acknowledge those men and women of color who came before my husband and, like my father-in-law, blazed trails through the Springfield Police Department but had no path to the position of superintendent. And I give those examples so that you would better understand how proud my father-in-law would be today of his son. Of both his son and his adopted city of Springfield. For all of you here with us today, those who are here with us in spirit, the people who are in the hallways, out in the corridors, lining the walls, our state representatives, clergy, local activists, city council members, and the Honorable Dominic Sarno. I would like to acknowledge and honor your courage and determination to bring us from those days to this in one generation. One generation, Springfield, and Larry Akers is ready for the challenge. Thank you. Now, as you know, being prepared is not always enough. Being prepared does not open doors or remove barriers or stop you from hitting your head on that glass ceiling. That work was left to you, Springfield, and you did the work. And you assured that when someone like Lawrence Akers was ready for the position, the Springfield Police Department was ready for him. Now, much has been said about my husband being the first Black superintendent for the city of Springfield, and that is historic, and it is worthy of celebration. But make no mistake, Lawrence Akers is not being named superintendent of police because he is a Black man. He is being named superintendent of police despite being a Black man. And that is all we marginalized people ask. And that is the space in which we truly celebrate today. So I'm sure you've all heard the saying, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And Lawrence Akers has been preparing himself for this position, unbeknownst to him, I think, because it's not on our vision board. This was not the plan. Since before his career in the police department began. He was preparing when he became the first Black person to serve on the West Springfield Fire Department. He was preparing when he became the first Black man to serve on the Detective Bureau for the city of Springfield. He prepared himself when he gained experience by serving as a patrolman in the Crime Prevention Unit, the Narcotics Bureau, the Robbery and Homicide Unit, the Detective Bureau, and what he is famous for, the Traffic Bureau, right? Everybody talks about that bike. He prepared himself when at the age of 50, he returned to academia and obtained his degrees. He prepared himself when after 25 years on the department, he decided to take promotional tests, passed every test, and topped 3 of the 5 tests that he took. He prepared himself when he was named supervisor of the Uniform Division as a sergeant, of the Detective Bureau as a lieutenant, at the Special Victims Unit as a lieutenant. He was named the first ever MGM Gaming Enforcement Supervisor as a lieutenant. He prepared himself by being the commanding captain of the Uniform Squad and the Metro Unit captain. and he prepared himself when he answered the call to serve as interim Deputy Chief of Operations, even with less than 12 months to his planned retirement, which was on our vision board. And in his preparation, he made himself ready to become the next superintendent of police for the city of Springfield. To paraphrase the immortal words of Sam Cooke, it's been a long time coming. Over 380 years, Springfield. But change has come to the Springfield Police Department. So, excuse me. Thank you. On behalf of my late father-in-law, Charles E. Akers, I am both proud and privileged to present to you for the first time his son, City of Springfield, Massachusetts, Superintendent, Chief, Commissioner, or General of Police, Lawrence E. Akers, Sr.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, man. I don't think I can do this. Wow.
Woo! Wow.
You know, my wife told me that she wanted to speak. I had no idea what she was going to speak on. Once again, how about my wife, Mary? Thank you. You are my Michelle Obama. So, my wife spoke about my dad. One thing that my dad did tell me is that a man should never be ashamed to show his emotions, as long as he's confident in who he is. Well, I'm a confident man, but I'm only a man. So, excuse me when I show my emotions on this day. As she said, this is a long time coming, and I can feel it coming. So good morning to everyone. And I'd really like to first express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you who took time out of your busy day to come here to spend time with me and my family on this memorable occasion. This is all somewhat surreal to me because I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy that grew up in the city of Springfield in the Winchester Square section of the city. As been said, my dad was a Springfield police officer. My mom was a nurse's aide at Springfield Hospital. I never expected to be here today. Actually, in my younger days, for those of you who knew me, I figured I'd be on the opposite side of the law. But my parents' guidance showed me the way. This morning, I sat back and I reflected on my mom and dad, all while wishing they could be here for this joyous occasion. But then I got a sense of comfort that came over me, knowing that they'd be working for me from up above. And I know right now they're partying. Heaven is a joyous, joyous place always, but this morning it is one hell of a party. And I know right now they are both jumping up and down on that glass ceiling that's about to come down. Ladies and gentlemen, that sound that you just heard is the glass ceiling crashing down in the lobby of the Springfield Police Department. So I have a lot of thank yous to go through, and a lot of people have been mentioned already today, so I don't have to repeat everyone here. But first and foremost, I want to thank the Honorable Mayor Dominic Sarno for first, just being an outstanding mayor for this great city of Springfield, and secondly, for having the faith and confidence in me to become your superintendent of the Springfield Police Department. I'd like to thank all the clergy and dignitaries that are here today who have been mentioned over and over, so I won't mention everyone, please. I apologize, but I just can't do that for time's sake. City council members, the Springfield Board of Police Commissioners, thank you for all being here. To my command staff, Deputy Chief Steve Kent, Deputy Chief Rupert Daniel, Senior Captain Trent Duda, my executive aide, Jeff Martucci, Captain. Thanks to Captain Brian Keenan and Officer Marty Curley for escorting the wreath out here. Thank you very much, appreciate you being here. And to all the members of the Springfield Police Department, Springfield Fire Department, EMS personnel, Sheriff's Department, and Mass State Police that are here today, and I know that I've left out a few, please forgive me. Thank you all for taking time to be in here today. I'd like to welcome the members of the state delegation, the state senators, the state representatives that are all here today. I want to appreciate and thank you for your support that you've given me on the state level. You all have pledged your support to me in the past. I appreciate that very much. But to all the state level delegation that are here, I still have one more hurdle to clear. If you all stand here with me today, as you have pledged in the past, I'm certain that we can get past a home rule petition so I can continue what I'm starting today past the age of 65. I need time to finish what I'm starting. And with your help, you can get me over the finish line. Let's work as a team and do what's best for the city. And please, don't let this historic appointment go to waste. Please don't allow the state to end my career and ruin the police department at a time that we're moving in a positive direction. Once again, thank you in advance for your continued support. Let's get the home rule legislation passed, please. I'd like to thank soon-to-be retired Judge John Payne and City Clerk Gladys Ayola for swearing me in this morning. A special thanks to those who spoke on my behalf, Reverend Ramon Arce, State Representative Bud Williams, Sheriff Nick Cochee, City Council Vice President Melvin Edwards, City Councilor LeVar Click Bruce, and my old road dog, retired Mass State Police Detective Lieutenant Ronnie Gibbons. I would definitely like to acknowledge now retired Superintendent Cheryl Clapproot. Cheryl, I appreciate you getting out of bed this morning and coming here. I mean, you just retired yesterday. Because I know when I retire, it's going to take me 2 days to get out of bed, because it's going to be flowing. But Cheryl, for you, I know that it's par for the course, because over the past 5 years, as your tenure as superintendent, I've seen the challenges that you've faced, and I'm grateful for your guidance and the lessons learned under your leadership. Your resilience to navigating difficult times has been indelible and has left a mark upon me and the Springfield Police Department. Thank you for your 45 years of continued service for the city of Springfield. Thank you. Only a few more thank yous, but I got to get them out of the way. I'd like to recognize the Springfield, Mass. Chapter of the Buffalo Soldiers who are here today. These men and women, they do such a great job for the youth and the elderly in our community, and I just appreciate you all being here on my behalf. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our MC for this ceremony, Anthony Signoli. Anthony, you always do an excellent job, and thank you for accepting my request on this special day for me and my family. And of course, to the person who never stops and is behind many of the ceremonies and the events put on in the city of Springfield. She's like Springfield's own Energizer Bunny, the one and only First Lady of the Spirit of Springfield, Miss Judy Matt. I also thank Judy's assistant, Amy Baring-Burke, who is a force behind the scene. Thank you, Amy. And to all the members of the Spirit of Springfield team, because without you, all of this wouldn't be taking place. One more group. I'd like to thank my family members who have been a constant source of support and inspiration for me throughout my 38 years of law enforcement. You've already met my amazing wife, Mary, but also up on the stage with you are my three sons, Larry Jr., Derek, and Jordan. Come on, stand up, give them a wave. Stand up, give them a wave. Okay, sit down. Give somebody a minute in the spotlight. My lovely family that's all sitting in the first couple to three rows here. I can't mention everyone, but I will definitely mention my sisters, Pamela and Ingrid, all my grandchildren, my nieces, nephews, cousins. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here. And, you all had a part in why I do this job. Whether it was you having a negative contact with law enforcement that made me want to stay on this job and make it a better place for everyone, or whether it was a very positive contact with law enforcement that made me proud to be a Springfield police officer, or just maybe something you said over the years when I was ready to give up on this profession. You're the reason I'm here. So I love you all and thank you for supporting me throughout the years. So many people have been asking me, what changes are you going to make when you become superintendent? So I'm just going to take a couple minutes to talk about change, because my focus is not merely on change for sake of change. Because the Springfield Police Department has undergone significant changes in recent years. My aim is to just strive for continuous success. But as we know in police work, change is inevitable. And our test is how we deal with the change. No matter how change comes, our mission stays the same. Our mission is to control and prevent as much crime and disorder, while at the same time protecting our citizens from that very crime and disorder. And I promise you, as a superintendent of the Springfield Police Department, I will be here fighting the fight for all of our residents in the city of Springfield. But if you really want change, look no further. This is change. This is the most change in the Springfield Police Department in 388 years in one day. And I thank you all for being here with me on this day. Which brings me to once again thank the Honorable Mayor Dominic Sarno. Because without you, your leadership and your courage, your fortitude to cross over past boundaries that in the past would have never allowed me to be named the first ever Black leader of the Springfield Police Department. Thank you, sir. Now, I only mention this because whether I downplay it or not, this is a historical day for the Springfield Police Department and the city. And I'm proud to be here in the presence of all my family and all of you. When I am long gone, my children and my grandchildren will forever remember this day in the city of Springfield. Here in Springfield, we're under a federal consent decree. But in defense of the department, many of the things highlighted in the decree were already being set in motion in our everyday activities. But we weren't doing a very good job implementing them. So, what the decree has done is forced the department to step up its game and come into compliance with many things that we were lagging behind in. It's helped our transparency with the public. It's forced us to upgrade our record-keeping practices and to rewrite our use of force policies and many other things that brought us into the 21st century. So whether I like the consent decree hanging over the department or not, doesn't matter. I will continue to do whatever possible to assist the Department of Justice and its representatives to move this department forward and to continue to gain the trust of our community. There are hundreds of good women and men in the Springfield Police Department that work tirelessly to make this city safer for our residents. And there are so many good things happening in their work that go overlooked. I hope to shine the light on the positives and less on the negatives. I want our residents to feel comfortable and confident that they can come to me or any other member of this department and get the help and answers they seek and be treated with professionalism and respect. I'm also hoping that the public will look at our department differently and not have the negative feelings that some do. All I ask is patience and a chance. We're here to serve all the members of this diverse community. And I'm committed to building bridges of trust between the police and the public we serve. My vision in the police department is rooted in 4 areas: community partnerships, transparency, reducing crime and fear of crime, and accountability. Now, to some of you, this may sound very familiar, and it should, because that's what every person stepping into this role of police leadership would like to accomplish. It's the foundation of overseeing a productive police agency. And I'm not trying to recreate the wheel here. I just want to fix a few broken spokes and hope we never get a flat tire along the way. In regard to community partnerships, the Springfield Police Department will make community engagement a priority. We will meet with stakeholders which will involve everyday citizens. We'll listen to the residents, the business owners, the community organizations, so we understand their concerns and their needs. Because as a police department, we can't expect to build trust in our community if we just roll into an area, take control, make arrest, and roll back out, never to be seen again until it's time to make some more damn noise. We need to be in constant contact with the people who want to be part of the solution, not the problem. And I'm looking that one day, the public will begin to gain more support for our police department. I'll be here fighting that fight. We need help from all community partners. The one thing that you're going to hear me say time and time again, the police cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. Everything is not a police issue. So we need community partners to come forward and help the police so we can make this city a better place for everyone to enjoy. So please, any suggestions? I'm all ears. Reducing crime and fear of crime merges with my first vision of community partnerships, because reducing crime is always a goal of the police department. But community engagement strategies have a greater impact on reducing fear of crime than crime itself. If we can get everybody involved, we can begin to reduce crime. And with the reduction of crime, we can begin to reduce the fear of crime. Accountability is crucial for the Springfield Police Department. And I'll see to it that we hold ourselves to the highest professionalism, ethics, and integrity standards. Any wrongful conduct or breach of trust will be exhaustively investigated and appropriate action will be taken. Every officer, from the superintendent to the newest officer, will be held to a higher standard and nothing but professionalism will be tolerated. And that goes for all of our civilian employees or anyone who works within the curtilage of the Springfield Police Department. To the men and women of the Springfield Police Department, I pledge fairness, respect, and unwavering support. Your dedication to serving this community is commendable, but many times it's overlooked. I'm committed to providing you with the leadership and resources needed to succeed. I will always do what's best for the department and will be impartial regarding any complaints against you until a thorough investigation is completed. To all my police recruits that are here today, I know they were sitting in here. I think we need a bigger boat. So they had to get up and they had to move. But come forward, please. Those are 35 new recruits that'll be retiring in about a week and a half. Retiring. I'll be retiring. That's good. I had to break the ice, I guess, you know. They'll be graduating from their academy in a week and a half. 25 will be hitting the streets of the city of Springfield, and 10 will be going to other areas surrounding. They've been going through a grueling 23-week academy. And they come out and they'll have another 12 weeks training on the street. And we hope to have them ready for the heat of the summer, because something tells me it's going to be busy. So I'm coming to an end, and I know it's probably been a little long as it is, but when you've been a part of law enforcement as long as I have, you need a strong support system along the way. And many times you have mentors who teach you the ropes. So before I finish, I just want to mention a few of the mentors that I had. And I know that there's probably several mentors in this room right now when I came on the job that showed me the ropes and helped me along the way. Sorry, I can't mention all of you, but you know who you are. But I have 4 mentors that I have to mention. Some of you who knew me before I became a police officer probably said a time or two, how in the world did he become a cop? And I know it's true because you said it to me. Well, that was in part facilitated by the late Lieutenant Harold Clinton. In 1984, I was driving for Peter Pan Bus Lines when he approached me. And he said to me just before he boarded my bus to Boston, he said, "We need some good young men for the Springfield Police Department." I told him I had a little legal problem that was keeping me from getting on the job. But for the next 2 years, Mr. Clinton went out of his way to do everything that he possibly could to make sure I cleared up my legal issues and followed through with securing my place in the Springfield Police Academy in March of 1986. Lieutenant Clinton, if not for your persistence, I would not be standing here today. And I salute you, sir. My next mentor that I'd like to talk about is my mom, Mary E. Akers. That's where I get emotional. My mom worked as a nurse's aide at Springfield Hospital and then Bay State Medical Center on the 3 to 11 shift her entire adult working life. She was the disciplinarian of our family, and she ruled with an iron fist. If we were being raised in today's society, no doubt in my mind she'd have spent time in prison. But even though I got into my share of problems in my youth, her discipline showed me the correct path to adulthood. She never spoke much about whether she wanted me to be a police officer or not. But when she passed in 2017, I was going through some of her belongings, and I found almost every newspaper clipping about my career neatly tucked away in her bedroom. Mom, I wish you could still be here today so you could have clipped some of my latest articles. You'd have got a kick out of these. Mom, I love you. I miss you dearly every day. Continue to rest in paradise. My next mentor is a non-traditional one, because usually a mentor is someone who helps you throughout the years, shows you the way in life, or someone who prepares you for what's about to come. She's not either of those types of mentor. This mentor is my wife, Mary C. Akers. When I met Mary, she had only been in Massachusetts a very short time, and she took a job as the assistant to the athletic director at American International College. And I was a patrolman riding my motorcycle around. I was happy where I was on the job, but she was on a mission to better herself. What I didn't know is that she also had a mission for me. And she was going to pull me right alongside with her. She was insistent that I go back to school and started taking promotional exams. When I told her that I was just happy riding my brand new Harley around, she just gave me this look. And then she just continued to show me how to sign up for classes online. When things were difficult for me, she would even help me with my classes, all while she was completing her own master's degree. Mary is now the executive director of Work Opportunity Center and oversees several locations in Springfield and across Western Mass. And I don't have to tell you all what I've been up to these days. But what I can tell you, all of this right here is because of her. On Martin Luther King Jr. Day, when the mayor announced that I'd be taking over this position, I briefly spoke about my wife on that day. And on that day, I called her my Coretta Scott King. A little earlier today, quite sure you all heard, I called her my Michelle Obama. Well, I use these comparisons because they're both strong black women who were or still are their husband's backbone, their strength, their ride or die. But I think I may not be giving Mary her due. So from now on, no more comparisons. Now, I think everyone will understand when I say, you are my Mary C. Akers. Almost there. The last mentor that I'd like to acknowledge is my dad, Charles E. Akers. Most people remember my dad riding around his own police motorcycle. And I know that there are many people out there right now saying, he gave me my first ticket. If I only had a nickel for every time I heard that, I wouldn't need to be standing up here. My dad spent 29 years on the department paving the way for people like me. I had a chance to be on the job with him for about a year and a half before he retired in 1987. He didn't want me to be a police officer, as Mary said earlier. He wanted me to stay on the fire department. But once I made up my mind, he walked me through the early years of the job. And things that he taught me almost 40 years ago still stand true today and help me get through some of the trying times of this profession. He used to tell me I needed to take promotional exams because if I didn't, I would never have any say about anything on this job. But I was too busy chasing down drug dealers in the 80s, solving homicides in the 90s, and in the early 2000s, I was impersonating him riding my own police motorcycle. By the time I did decide to buckle down, By the time I decided to buckle down and go for promotion, he was going through some health problems. When I got promoted to sergeant in 2012, I couldn't wait to run over and show him my brand new shiny gold badge. But when I presented it to him, he just looked at it and he said, "What is this?" Dementia had taken his mind to the point that he had no memory of the job any longer. But even though I knew that he couldn't comprehend what I was saying, I promised him that I was going to go on with my promotions. My dad passed less than a year later. Well, Dad, I hope like hell you can see me now. To my children and my grandchildren, if you've heard anything that I just said, be great. Work hard and achieve your goals, but don't wait too long because I want to see all your greatness before it's too late for me to understand. In closing, I am honored and humbled to lead this police department into the future. And I pledge to work tirelessly to make positive difference in the lives of all the people that we serve. Together we can, and we will, build a stronger, safer, and more united city. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., we need leaders not in love with money, but in love with justice. Not in love with publicity, but in love with humanity. I aim to be just that type of leader. Thank you all once again. God bless you, and God bless this great city of Springfield, Massachusetts. I love you all.
Thank you, Superintendent, so much so. Thank you all who have sat here today, who have been with us today, who have stood here for so long. Continue to stand long and support this man. Tonight, remember him in a prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to please stand for the retiring of the colors by the Springfield Police Color Guard, and then God Bless America, sung by Vanessa Ford. After all that, we invite you, Mayor Sarno and Superintendent Akers invite you to join them for some light refreshments downstairs in the lobby. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
God bless America, the land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless our Springfield, the city of homes. Stand beside us and guide us through the night with a light from above. From the north and to the south and east and west and every home. God bless America. Oh, God bless America. Oh, God bless our Springfield, our home, sweet home. God bless you.